Welcome. Whoa, that was an abrupt ending there. Welcome back to Edgework, part of the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. I'm Zack Phillips, joined by Matt Alber and So Money here today to break down everything going on in the NHL here today after a day off on the show. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed their New Year's, celebrated responsibly, and is ready to kick off the season with us here on the show because, as you know, hockey season is in full swing, and with FanDuel, you can turn a little hunch into a true power play. FanDuel is the hottest same-game parlays found on the Parlay Hub. Lace them up and follow your bets, player prop tracking, or bet on the fly with the Pulse. Make every NHL watching experience more with FanDuel, North America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers kick off the season with $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Just place any $5 bet. You'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Please play responsibly. You must be 19 plus, physically located in Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-866-531-2600. That's 1-866-531-2600 or visit connectsontario.ca. So, Money, you spend your New Year's at the Roxy?
No, no, I did not. Um, it was very chill New Year's for me.
Okay, well, that's good. Alber, was yours chill as well?
Yep, moved about 10 feet. Didn't move for probably 6 hours. It was great.
Pretty uneventful. Mine was not much going on as well. Got back about 14 minutes before. Sat in the hotel room. New Year's happened, and then about 5 minutes later, the fire alarm went off, and walked around the city of Ottawa looking for a bar to go to. And shockingly, downtown Ottawa, everything is closed at 12:15 because
Wow,
it's Tuesday or on in the city of Ottawa. So why would you make people be up, especially on New Year's? That would make no sense. It's a day off. These people should be getting holidays.
that's
Bars,
wild
why
to
would
me.
they be open on New Year's?
Yeah, that's rough, man.
Take
I
it
was
you're
like,
not going to move to Ottawa anytime soon.
no, or ever. I was like, honestly, it was just like I wasn't even trying to go to the bar or anything. It was like one of the other guys I was there with. We were like, you know what? We're kicked out of the hotel. While we're waiting for
Yeah,
these guys to figure this out, let's go sit down somewhere. No, not even an
unreal.
option. Unreal, unbelievable.
I wonder if it's going to be open later in April when the Sens are playing the Leafs in the playoffs.
Well, it wouldn't
I
really
think
matter
Moretto
even
would
if that
jump
was the
off a
case.
building if that happens.
It
We're
wouldn't
never going
even
to hear
matter
from
even if
Moretto
that
again.
was the case because the rink is 30 minutes away from downtown in a different city. So, yeah, it's
That's
craziness.
wild, man.
You talk about
Okay,
Armageddon scenarios. We may never hear from Moretto again if you have a Leafs Sens playoff series. Like he's going to do one of those things where they like put him in a 3-week medical coma or something. Just
I thought we may never hear from you again after the tweet Kanish put out yesterday.
It was funny. I was just hanging out, and all of a sudden I get a message. You see what Kanish just tweeted? I was like, no, do I want to? And they go, no, probably not. And I look at it, and you know what? I've cropped some Kanish tweets Kanish text pretty heavily before, so he did the same. I do have it on from a very good source that Kanish had very many more dollars on Oregon than I did. I had zero, just for the record. It's all in good fun. I have no desire to send our full text thread or do any of that kind of public.
Oh no.
It's all good fun between Kanish and I.
What's with the green text bubbles though? You got an Android going on?
Yeah, I've never had an iPhone.
Come on, man. Come on.
I do have
You were
iMessage.
getting heat online. I saw you were getting heat online. Okay.
Oh well.
Let's get to the games here today. We've got a bunch to break down and give out best bets for here. So let's start over on FanDuel at the absolute top of the board, and we'll go in order of what FanDuel has listed. And we'll start with the Bruins and, of course, the New York Rangers. What would it be without starting a show with a Rangers game? Bruins minus 104, the Rangers minus 115, 5.5 the total on FanDuel right now, minus 122, over plus 100. Under. Alber, thoughts?
How many teams right now would you not be willing to take minus 104 versus the Rangers, especially without Shesterkin? Okay, we're back to this. Seriously though, like how many decent teams will you not take? I'm on the Bruins here. I don't know what else to say about the Rangers. Bad, no Igor, can't stop anybody. Now you're basically relying on Jonathan Quick to play every night, most nights for a little bit here. I mean, it's going bad to worse.
So Money, are you also on the Bruins at minus 104 here?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and lock it in. Bruins, we know that we're high on. I've changed my tune a little bit on them as the season has progressed. Rangers, they are who they are, right? The last couple of years, they've relied on Igor to bail them out of defensive situations. I thought wrongfully that they might be trying to get it together defensively. They're not. They still suck. So
they can't. They don't have the guys to do it at this point.
Yeah, totally, right? And like you can do whatever you want to do. I want to be a professional hockey player, but like you just can't, right? So they don't have the horses to play the way that they need to play. They don't have Igor to bail them out anymore right now. And I think that we're going to continue seeing a team struggling and continuing their free fall here. I think that Rangers to miss the playoffs, just like the Canucks, it's a very live bet right now. I don't see anything, especially against a Bruins team, that can not only shut them down but also generate offensively as well. I don't see anything here.
Very live bet. I think the Canucks are still plus money to miss the playoffs. The Rangers are like minus 400 at this point.
Oh, are they minus 400 now? Okay, so
so
I've missed that. Yeah.
Things are but like with the Igor thing, right? Like that's kind of, it seems like that's like one of their few avenues to win a game right now. Is Igor just like against an Igor team? Is Igor just stands on his head? And without that, like, okay, has Quick done it a few times? Yeah. Is he capable of doing it? Obviously, in a one-game scenario, yeah. But like, especially kind of when we look at a nightly basis right now, and like I touched on this last year when they first got Quick and he was playing well. Like a guy like this, he's not built to play every game anymore. Like his body's just not going to be able to hold up. So if he's playing once every week, once every 2 weeks, I think he can be good, and he has been good. I do think, especially like the longer Igor's out here, the worse it's going to get for Quick, just because he's not built to hold up every night at this point.
And like that would be my like only reservation for this game, is that in any one game scenario, obviously Quick can be good enough to win the game. But even if the Rangers do win this game, I wouldn't get discouraged betting against the Rangers going forward. I think that it's asking too much at this point to rely on Quick to play the way that Igor needed to play to keep the Rangers in the game.
No, and especially like the schedule coming up, like they don't have a whole lot of breaks coming up. Like in the next 10 days, I think they have 6 or 7 games, something like that. So it's like he's gonna have to play a lot in a hurry. So yeah, I see kind of a lot of opportunities to bet against this team. Like I think higher of Quick tonight than I will this time next week for sure.
There you go. There's the first bet of the day. It's a double best bet on the Bruins. They're minus 104, as we saw on FanDuel. We pulled it up, and you guys have had some influence here. And those of you in the chat potentially have some influence here as well. That one on FanDuel, since we gave it out, moved out on Bruins minus 110 here now. Obviously, shop around and look for some other numbers in that range. But yep, minus 104, Bruins, first one that we have given out. Let's go to the next game on the schedule. Red Wings and Blue Jackets. Detroit plus 104. The Blue Jackets minus 125. 6.5 total, minus 102. Over, minus 120. Under, so money. When you look at this Red Wings Blue Jackets game here tonight, I feel like this is not like the most appealing for people from a viewing standpoint, but is it something that you're interested in betting?
Yeah. Columbus took some money. I'm just waiting for the height of that because I do want to bet the Red Wings at this price. We're seeing a Wings team that has put together some good games here. The last 3 at least. Even the loss against Toronto, the 5-2 loss against Toronto, I don't think they played that poorly. I think that we had Talbot, who put together one of his worst performances of the season. And I think that's what ended up costing them in that game. I am liking the way that the Wings are playing. And of course, what we mention all the time, it starts defensively, right? And if this game gets if Detroit continues playing well and they're the ones that are dictating the pace of this game, I don't think that Columbus has the discipline right now to play that defensive game. Now with Merzlikins, as we've seen many times, he can steal you games as well, right? So obviously that's a concern going into it. I do like what I'm hearing from the Wings camp, how they're approaching these games now, how they're wanting to play. And maybe it's the new coach bump. McClellan was saying that like they're still in like a honeymoon stage right now, so like everything is all good. Columbus continues to give up defensively more opportunities than they should. They did win against Carolina in a shootout, but I don't think they were deserving of that game. That game kind of got away from Carolina there. So I do like the Wings here at that number. Pretty much any dog price I've been waiting for on the Wings, and it's good to go right now.
Plus 107 here, so money will grab you for this one. Detroit money line here. Alber, are you in agreement with this one? Any pushback?
I'm very neutral on this one. I don't love Detroit kind of at the small number. I'm not high on them. They're just getting absolutely nothing going offensively. And even a team like Columbus that's allowing a lot, like I just don't trust the Wings to do a whole lot of anything here. That's on the other side. I don't trust that Columbus can stop anybody. So I look at one team can't score, one team can't defend. I'm not really interested in either side of that. I think the total's kind of right in line. I mean, for the Wings, for the Jackets, like this is also kind of a step down in class here after some of the teams they've played lately, like Tampa, New Jersey, Boston, Carolina, kind of in a recent stretch. So it's like, if anything, yeah, I would lean the Wings, but I'm definitely not going to get to a number here that I'm interested in.
2 games that we've covered here so far and 2 best bets already. So money involved in both. Alber involved on the first one, not here on the second, but more opportunity with plenty of games left on the schedule. Next up, we'll go to the Wild and the Capitals. Minnesota plus 136, Washington minus 164, 5.5 total minus 122, over plus 100 under right now. Alber, you kick this one off here. Wild, Capitals, anything interesting you in this one?
Man, I wish we had a better price on the under. I'm not going to see it. No, this is kind of 2 teams that I've been wrong on for a long time. I was obviously very low on the Wild. They've been great. I tried to adjust. They've kind of tapered off a little bit. I just have no interest in kind of getting in a Wild game right now. I feel like every time I'm on an under, it's like 3-1 at the end of the first. The Capitals, I just don't really know what to make of them right now. Like I think it was Moretto touched on it the other day. Like they are hitting a bit of a slide here. I don't know if this is a spot they bounce back. I generally would love an under between these 2 teams, but like at this point, we're barely even getting plus 100 on the under 5.5. I got nothing.
So money, do you have anything?
No, not in this game. I think that Washington is priced fairly. They should be at home here. They should be a clear favorite. I do like both these teams long term. But for tonight, I think that Minnesota's in a spot with their injuries as well. It's going to be tough for them here to keep up with the Caps. So it's priced fairly. It should be where it is. In terms of the total, I agree. I wish it was a better number, but at 5.5, and we're not. Yeah, 5 at 5.5. I can't get there.
Okay, no problem. So there you go. That's the first game that we haven't had a bet in. Next one, we'll go Carolina, Florida. The Hurricanes plus 100. The Panthers minus 120. 5.5 total here on FanDuel. 6 is elsewhere, but right now over on 5.5 minus 140. Under is plus 114. So money, what are you thinking here?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and lock in Carolina.
Yep.
Plus money here. It's not necessarily a bet against Florida. I mean, like we know. We do know how I feel about the Panthers. I think that they're fine. Like long term, I'm not worried about them at all. It's just that they continue to play inconsistently. Bobrovsky, we touched on it last game. Even with the win against the Rangers, he was okay, right? He was better than he than he had been the previous couple of games, but still doesn't inspire much confidence in me right now. And same with the Panthers team, right? I thought that. Am I frozen?
No, you're good.
Yeah. Sorry. I thought with the Panthers team, I thought that probably should have had a better effort against the Rangers. They could have really put that game away, but they kept the Rangers around. And anytime you're keeping the Rangers around in any game right now, you're gonna get penalized by me. So, and for Carolina, they continue to play at a high level. As I mentioned, they lost that shootout game against Columbus, but that was a game they probably deserved to win, and they're well deserving for their results overall this season. But there is room for improvement from them in terms of the standings, and I think that we're going to start seeing Carolina starting to ascend more in the standings now as we move on here. So getting them as a dog price, I'm on it.
Alber, are you in agreement with this play that we just added?
Yeah, lock it in. Double best bet here. I think I am a little lower on Florida right now than maybe so money is. But no, I think Carolina is the better team. And I think, well, Florida's been good defensively. Carolina is just generating offense on everybody. And I can't really say that I trust Florida to do the same right now. So, yep, lock it in.
Next one here, we've got the Leafs and the Islanders. Toronto right now minus 115, Islanders minus 104, 5.5 total, minus 124 over, plus 102 under. Albert, before we started the show, you were a little bit perplexed about the number that we were seeing and how you might want to get involved in this one. Have you made up your mind here 18 minutes into the show?
Yeah, I'm not betting it.
Wow.
I thought about maybe getting behind the Islanders here. I'm not going to do it. It sounds like a terrible way to spend my night while I'm at MSG, sweating an Islanders Leafs game. As far as the total, I think it's kind of right in line. Saw pretty similar, 2 days ago when these teams played. So you do have a pretty recent line to go off of anyway. I think it's fine.
So money, is there any interest from you in this one? Sam in the chat there says Leafs, Leafs, Leafs.
Yeah, I'm more inclined towards the Leafs right now. It's just that we've touched on this many times. It's really tough to get a good grasp on this Islanders team from a night to night basis right now. They're profiling as a very inconsistent 500 team, and that's really tough to get out in front of. We see games where they play well defensively, and we also see games where they're incredibly loose. So I will pass on this game. I think that if for whatever reason we get to plus money on either side, I'd be looking at that more. But yeah, I can't get there. I just also want to touch on Jeff's comment in the chat there about Carolina. He was mentioning that Carolina is struggling lately. I think that one thing we have to keep in mind too is that Carolina, if you're looking at the results, yeah, they're not getting the results right now. I think that over the course of their last 10 games or so, I think they're like 500 right now. But the way that they're playing and the way that they're generating offense, I think it's still there. Now you could push back in saying that they're generating offense against Islanders, San Jose, Columbus, Islanders, Nashville, right? So like their competition hasn't been that stiff. They did play New Jersey back to back, and I thought they looked good in both games, right? So they split those games, but I thought that Carolina was probably deserving to win both those games, even though one of those games they lost by 2 goals. So I think that even though their results haven't been there, I think that Carolina is still playing at the level that they've played throughout the season.
And so to Carolina point really quick, just to add on, I think part of the reason that so many is maybe I am a little higher on Carolina this year, especially, is that they're actually able to score this year.
Yeah.
Like in the past, like they've always controlled play against these teams, but those are actually turning into goals this year. So as far as a long-term outlook, like I definitely am higher on Carolina kind of going forward, even into the playoffs this year, than I certainly have been, at least over the last 2 years.
So we remain at 3 best bets here for the show today, 2 of which are double best bets, one of which is owned solely by So Money there. But we'll recap everything as we finish off the games here today, and that is not yet because we've got a few more to go. Next up, Anaheim, Winnipeg, the Ducks plus 225, the Jets minus 280, 6.5 total on FanDuel, plus 110 over, minus 134 under. So Money, yet another Ducks game here tonight. I know that you've been a fan of Chicago, you've been a fan of San Jose in terms of just watching them, making sure they're on your TV. Will the Ducks be on your TV tonight?
It's very likely that they will, because you guys know that I'm a sucker for goaltending, and if you give me a good goaltending matchup, I don't care at what level we're talking about, I'm probably going to end up watching it. I went for my kids' practice the other day, and then afterwards, there was there was a game that was being played with this 11-year-old kid who's like supposed to be a crazy goaltender. So I told my son, let's just hang around for a bit. I just want to see this kid play, and I mean, he was unreal. 11-year-old kid, like a little smallish in net, obviously, but just the reflexes and like the technical aspect of his game, like wow, right? So at any level, you tell me there's a good goaltender, I'm going to stay and watch. So I think that in tonight's game, just when I talked up Mike Comrie, he put up a performance that was
Eric Comrie.
Mike Comrie.
Eric Comrie, yeah.
Yeah, just when I talk up Comrie, he put in a performance that that wasn't very good. And even with that performance, I felt that it was unlucky that we didn't get that under against Colorado. I think that we're gonna go there it is. We're gonna go back to the well there. Anaheim's an under team. Winnipeg, Hellebuck is just playing at a level that's just it's just an insane level right now. He's running away with the Vezina, and it's not even close right now. So I do like this under. I think that Winnipeg. I mean, it's not that they got away from their defensive game. Like they played a strong defensive game, giving up 5 goals. But I mean, like it was just an unfair way to lose that game. So yeah, on the under here, 6 is good, up to minus 115. Let's lock that in.
Okay, under 6 minus 102 we can get on FanDuel, according to checking out on BetStamp, and then heading on over to the game prop section and the totals. Flat line there, so we'll go under 6 minus 102. Albert, anything for you to add to this one?
Yeah, I did not expect to see a picture of Hillary Duff come up on the show stream today. That was not something I had on my first show of the New Year's bingo card.
That's like the one and only thing I remember or like have in my head for who Mike Comrie is, what he does.
We can also open the show with a nice head-to-head here because I'm on the over. I do agree with the whole goaltending point. Like, obviously, can't argue with the season Hellebuck's had, and Dostal I'm very high on. When I look at kind of these matchups where I think in a game like this, both these teams are putting a lot of offense together. The Ducks can't defend anybody. I think you are pretty reliant on getting very good games from both of these goalies to kind of help keep this under this total. So in a game where I see it like that, and I'm still higher on these Ducks overs than I know a lot of other people are, I always tend to like the over. So yeah, I'm on the over here.
So this is the first time that Alber has gone head-to-head with So Money this season.
This game's ending 1-0.
Well, I mean, it's the first time you've gone head-to-head in terms of like a game to go head-to-head on. Otherwise, you guys are still holding on to the Sens make miss playoffs, which will be determined in due time. But there you go.
The worst part of that is when the Sens make the playoffs, he can like talk shit because the Rangers had a bad year. So that was like a double whammy. It's going to be the Sens taking the Rangers spot in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm
I
I'm
think
just
we're
waiting
both head to
because,
head. I think
huh?
we're both head to head with so money. I
Yeah,
think Moreto's head to head.
Yeah, you are. You are
So I think
both
we're
head
both.
to
I
head.
think we're both gonna lose on that one.
yeah. Everyone's gonna hear about it too. I'm just waiting.
The last head to head that happened was So Money and Moretto. Oh, I didn't update that one. Montreal, Detroit. So Money had the over 6. Moretto had under 6. We got to take a look at that one. Make sure that gets filled in. But okay, there you go. There's a head to head. Winnipeg Anaheim on the total. Alber is going over 6, and So Money is going under 6. As Moretto makes his presence felt in the chat there. Habs will make in, save us, don't worry. I don't know about that. Let's go next here. The Ottawa Senators and the Dallas Stars.
I'd rather
Ottawa
see the
plus
Habs in it than the
146.
Senators.
I would just hope neither of them make it. Ottawa plus 146. Dallas minus 178. 5.5 total on FanDuel right now. Minus 142. Over plus 116. Under. Alber. Send Stars. What are you thinking?
Man, I hope this number doesn't keep coming down, so I have to lay a big number against Ottawa, but that's kind of where I'm getting close to. They've been better. I still just don't think they're in kind of this spot that they should even be getting to like this. I have to rethink everything when it comes to Ottawa games. Like I'm basically double taking every time I look at a number at this point when it comes to the Senators, just because I still am not where the market is on them, and the market seems to like them most nights. Most days they're taking money before the games. It's one that I don't want to bet. We'll see where the number ends up, but as of right now, I have nothing here.
So, Money, you seem to have a better grasp of this Sens team than anybody here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good game, but in terms of, I can't get on the Senators right now at this number. I think that Dallas, the way that they're playing, they are playing well. I do have some concerns about the way that Dallas is playing defensively right now. They're not in great defensive form, and I mentioned this last game as well. I think that Ottinger is trending downwards. We will get Ottinger starting here, but I mean, it's not enough for me to play an over, and it's not enough for me to play Ottawa. I think that Dallas is priced where it should be. Dallas should be the favorite the way they are right now. So even though Ottawa's playing well, and I joke about Ottawa being a behemoth, I think that in this game here, we have the rightful favorite here as a at a bigger number. So I will end up passing this game, but yeah, I mean, I'll be watching this game. I think it's going to be a good one.
I think if this number gets into the 160s is where I would get it on Dallas too.
Okay.
If it keeps coming. I know they were like minus 200 about a couple hours ago, but yeah, this keeps coming. I'll do that.
Here's an interesting question for you guys that just got popped in the chat, or something to kind of address. And as we get to this Utah game next, Rob says, I wonder if CLV even matters when betting against Ottawa, Utah, Preds, etc., when we know they take money every day regardless of opponent. Obviously, this has been one of those years. I think a lot of times on the show we've discussed like market entry and the reason for money pouring in on teams and why numbers are moving, and kind of some spots being not explainable in regards to no news or injury or goalies came out. It was just explainable because we know people came in and decided they're going to smash that number at that time and everything gets moved. But otherwise, I mean, So Money, as I read that question out, I saw you smiling, nodding your head. CLV, we know matters, but there are certain cases here where we got to kind of take stuff with a grain of salt. And we've talked about it ourselves, whether it's on the show or off the show. Like, it is what it is. We just know that money is coming in.
Yeah. So, I mean, without getting into the whole CLV discussion, that
let's just go totally off the rails and turn this into like an hour-long CLV discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I just laugh whenever I read those discussions because it's so it's so extreme on either side, right? Like, yes, you should be getting the best of the number, right? Like, yes, you shouldn't be paying more for things that are cheaper afterwards, right? Like I mean, like, that's just the way it is, right? Like, just in life, like get the better prices on things you're buying, right? Like what
Yeah.
else can I say? But there's also it's also nuanced, because there are certain situations where no, it doesn't matter in certain situations, and in certain situations you don't want CLV, right? So I mean, um, yeah, it's you can't be extreme about these things, and I completely agree with what Rob is saying, and what Rob is getting at here. We saw this with the Penguins last year. We see this with Nashville this year. We see this with Carolina this year, right? Like Utah. There there are situations where if you know where your number is, if you are strong about where your assessment of a team is, you know that the market likes something um, than you do, and you know that basically what you want to buy is going to go on sale. Why would you not wait for the sale price for you to go buy that thing that you want, right? So um, that's just what it comes down. Like overall, over the course of millions of bets, yes, you do overall want to get the better of the number, but when you break it down at a very micro level, it on like a game by game basis, there are situations where it doesn't matter and you don't want it to matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alber, go ahead.
Right. So I have very similar thoughts on this. I mean, we could kind of get into the who has market influence and like that kind of stuff all day, as far as like actually getting the CLV goes. Like obviously people can create their own CLV, yada, yada, yada. I think kind of when we look at it in the context of that specific question, like, I don't think it matters. No. I think like if I'm betting against Carolina, for example, I know that I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of CLV, if any, depending on kind of when I get in. And is there going to be another move after I bet? Maybe, maybe not. Like, I just go back to 2 years ago. I remember the Flames were getting bet like every day for 3 months, and I was just waiting until the Flames move and just clicking against them every night. So it's like, I think if you kind of have a stance on a team like that you either really like or really don't like, it's either getting bet on or against every day. Like, yeah, I don't think you need to necessarily worry about it. But I think that's especially, and I know we talked about this earlier in the year, where it's like, I think especially early on in the season, it's why it's good to know and figure out who is either getting bet against or getting bet on every day. So that you can kind of be ready so that, okay, maybe you're not getting the absolute best of the number every day. But at this point, like if you're looking at the board the day before, for example, like, Ottawa's probably going to take money. Carolina's probably going to take money. Nashville's probably going to take money. So, okay, if I like them, yeah, I'm going to bet them early. If I'm going to bet against them, okay, maybe I'm not rushing to bet them at 9 a.m. the next morning. Maybe I'm waiting to see that move come in at around 11, 12 o'clock like every other day. So, no, I think in the context of the question, like, I don't really care. I mean, yeah, just the big picture is, yeah, CLV eventually matters at some point, but like, especially if like you're creating your own, like, and I know like we talked about this, it's like it's one or two groups that are moving this basically every day on these specific teams. So it's like, do I mind necessarily going head to head with like one group, one person on these a lot of times? No.
Right. Okay, there you go. Hopefully that helps people out there. Just a little bit of a insight as to the market and kind of how things maybe get timed here. But next up, we've got to go to the Utah-Calgary game. Utah here minus 120 on FanDuel. Calgary plus 100. 6.5 the total, plus 102 over. Minus 124 under. So money. The Hockey Club and the Flames. Are you betting on this game tonight?
I wanted to. I do come in higher on Utah than a lot of people. I think it's been like that all year. But I think I was hoping to get Utah discounted with them losing 5 straight, and or I think it's 5 or 6 or something. And Calgary, I keep waiting for Calgary's slide, but I mean, credit to them. They're beating the teams that they should be beating, including the Canucks. So I can't. And they play better at home. So I think that I will pass on this game. I wanted a little bit better on Utah. But if Calgary gets a little higher here, and we're talking about like a plus 105, plus 108 range, I'd be closer to Calgary. If we're talking about a Utah minus 105, minus 110 range, then I'd be more inclined towards Utah. So right now we are in a situation where I am pushed towards the sidelines on both sides. So I've got nothing here.
Alber, anything for you?
The other day I sat here and said, anytime I'm close to the Flames, I should probably bet them, because I'm never close to wanting to bet the Flames. I'm close to wanting to bet the Flames, so let's lock it in today. Which, if you need a kiss of death like that, that's the ultimate kiss of death.
You need to have more confidence.
2025 is maybe the year of confidence. We'll find out.
Don't say that. So money. Did you hear the way he said that? 2025 is maybe the year of confidence. No.
We'll
Albert, say it after me. 2025 is the fucking year of confidence.
2025 is the year the Rangers finish in last place in the Eastern Conference.
Okay. Well. Anyways, continue with your.
I am confident in that. Yeah, it'll come. It'll happen when it happens, guys.
We need to enroll Alber in the Soul Money school of mindset. We need to change
seriously.
that mindset.
Is this the Soul Money school of mindset that we get every time the Rangers play the Canucks, or the normal Soul Money school of mindset?
Those are just like roadblocks that come up towards the path to greatness.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, I don't even know where we got derailed, but yeah, I'm on Flames plus money here.
It was when you basically said that you like this bet and then shit all over yourself for liking the bet.
Which is stronger, my ability to lock in a bet that wins on the show, or my ability to mush it by saying I like it on the show?
I don't know.
At some point, I got to go back and find like my on-show versus off-show, right? Because it definitely is different this year.
Oh God!
Last year it was like you bet anything and it loses. This year it's like if I talk about it, it's dead. If I don't talk about it, it actually does pretty well.
There you go. I see some questions there about World Juniors stuff. We can answer those at the end once we finish off the NHL game. So we'll get some brief thoughts from the guys here on what we are seeing. Sabres, Avalanche, Buffalo plus 168, Colorado minus 205, 6.5 plus 108 over, minus 132 under. Alber, I'll go back to you, Mr. Confidence. Any bets?
Gotta be honest.
Maybe kind of sort of like.
What game did you mention?
Buffalo, Colorado.
Oh, he's lost it now.
You're out of it.
You go to So Money first, sorry.
So Money? Do you know what game I'm talking about? You know what we're thinking here? Like,
yeah, so I mean, I think it's possible. Has maybe the chat can chime in here. Has there been a confirmation for Buffalo's goalie yet since we've been on air? I don't believe so. Yeah. So the only reason I'm mentioning that is because I think that it's possible that we could get UPL not starting in this game, and that's gonna move the number a bit. But overall, I've got nothing in this game. Colorado unders. Obviously, we've touched on it, but Buffalo is not a team that I want to be necessarily running to bet unders on right now, especially if I'm not sure who's going to be starting in goal for them. So I will pass on this game. Colorado should be into the minus 200s. I think that's they're the rightful favorite. I don't care how many games they've played in the last 8 days or 10 days or whatever. It doesn't matter to me right now with this Colorado team. And if Colorado wants to play a game where they want to turn it on, they will. Even with Nichushkin out, I think that this game is going to come down to the way Colorado wants to play. So I will end up passing this game. Would have liked the 6 to consider an over. 6.5 is juiced on the under. So this is another game where I think that it's lined where it should be, and it pushes me off of either side here.
Albert, does it help you at all? Thanks to Drunken Goon, who tells us that Hasek is not starting.
It's too bad because I definitely leaned the under here, and that would have been great. Nah, I mean, we said it the other day with UPL and Reimer. Like, you just can't bet Sabres games without knowing who's starting in net. That's where I am too. If I'm around and notice when UPL gets confirmed, I'm going to end up on this under. But nah, otherwise you can't do much with it.
That Connor response is awesome.
Pagula thought he was in the room with Josh Allen. He thought he was in the Sabres room or the Bills room.
That's awesome.
Went, whoa, wrong stadium. My bad. Okay.
Must be nice being that rich, huh? Oops, wrong stadium.
Must be. Okay. Next, Canucks Kraken. Vancouver plus 100. The Kraken minus 120. 5.5 total. Minus 10 on either side. So money. The Vancouver Canucks. We heard it from you the other day. What are you thinking here today?
Let's go lock in the Canucks right now before it moves anymore.
There we go.
I did play the Canucks at plus money. We're good.
Yep.
So this is a situation where I ragged on the Canucks quite a bit last game, and they played the way that we expected against Calgary. A team without a lot of jump, without a lot of much of anything. I thought that they were poor from the get-go. But here's the thing. Everybody has a price, right? And we're in a situation now where I think that we've moved too far on the Canucks. It's not to say that I fully expect the Canucks to win tonight. But what I am saying is that at plus money against a Seattle team that they do match up well against, I think we've gone too far the other way. We saw them just recently play in Vancouver, where Vancouver blew the lead in the third period, and I thought that the Canucks played well for about 52 minutes of that game, and then they started teetering in the next three, and then in the last five, they just completely fell apart. So, I think that everybody does have a price, and we have to say that in Ted DiBiase's voice. But the Canucks, I think that we've just gone too far here. On the road, they play better. They don't necessarily match up well against the Flames, but Seattle's a little bit different. I think that the Canucks will be able to generate more on Seattle here.
Canucks plus 105 we grab here for the show. Alber, anything to add on this game?
I haven't bet anything here. I definitely agree that I think there's going to be some spots coming up to bet on the Canucks here, especially if the market kind of keeps putting them at these kind of numbers against these bad teams. I think they're going to be playing a lot of better teams coming up that will have a lot of interesting, very high prices that we're looking at. But I don't have anything on here. I leaned to the Canucks before the move, but I was never that close to it anyway.
All right. Next we have Flyers and the Golden Knights. Philly plus 158, Vegas minus 192, 6.5 total, minus 108 over, minus 112 under. Excuse me there. Alber, anything you're thinking? Any bets you've got in this game?
Yeah, what can we get on the over here?
We can. Sorry, I've got a cable that's falling on my feet underneath here. We can get Flyers, Vegas. Oh, I almost coughed and sneezed at the same time. I'm struggling right now. 6.5. I need to get out of there. Over 6.5, minus 102. Minus 105. Minus 105. Widely available.
Yeah, let's go ahead and lock that in.
Over 6.5, minus 105.
Yeah, I know I'm higher on these Vegas overs than So Money and Moretto are. The Flyers are generating offense against everybody right now, too. I don't know. I don't trust the Flyers goaltending at this point against anybody. Yeah, I'm good at this number.
So Money, any opposition before I lock this in?
Yeah, we're gonna go head to head here. I do like this under.
Just lock it.
So we talked about the Flyers in terms of the way that they play the game, right? We know what kind of effort that we're going to get, and I do agree with Alber about the way that the Flyers they are generating offense the few games here, and I completely agree with that. Even against the Kings, the two games against the Kings, I thought that they played well, offensively. The thing with the Kings, though, is that they right now will beat you however you want to play, right? So I'm not taking anything away from the Flyers. I'm just saying that I don't think that the Kings were very concerned with the Flyers wanting to play end to end. Now, a couple of those games for the Flyers where they were generating offense here was against Anaheim and San Jose, and against Columbus. So I think that we need to look at that as well. And now they're stepping up against a Vegas team that Vegas can generate offense when they want to, but for the most part, they are tightening up defensively, and just they're starting to play that the way that they need to. So I think that at 6.5, at a flat 6.5 too, I think that that the under is the way to go here.
Okay, so head to head on that.
I know this is a crazy question, but is this the best offensive team Vegas has played in 3 weeks? Kind of looking at the recent schedule, like I know that's a crazy question to say about the Flyers, but like
you see a lot of crazy things. But let's see.
Wild, Canucks, Kraken,
Oilers. You played Oilers a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I was basically going after that game. So that was on the
after that game.
What, 3 weeks?
Yeah. Banged up Minnesota. Canucks suck. Seattle, whatever. Anaheim,
San Jose, Calgary. Montreal. Yeah, I don't know. It might be. The Flyers might be playing better offensively than any of those teams right now. I know that's like crazy to say, but that might be true.
Maybe.
Say a lot of crazy things.
Yeah.
You say a lot of crazy things. It was good.
It's true.
Moretto, stop calling the Flames a wagon.
Okay, there you go. Head to head on that one. So no official bet to lock in. Last game of the night here, Lightning and Sharks. Tampa minus 280, San Jose plus 225, 6.5, minus 110 on either side. So money, I'll let you take this one because these are your Sharks.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see Celebrini again. Anytime the Sharks are playing, I mean, I'm telling you guys, right? Like if you're on the East Coast or whatever, just like stay up and just watch this kid. Like
it's so good.
He's unbelievable. Yeah, I've got nothing on the game. I kind of like the over a bit, but it's not something that that I'm gonna be jumping on here. Yeah, I'll end up passing on this game. Tampa Bay is a team that they're starting to concern me a bit. Not because of who they are, but because I might have been a little bit low on them. So they're a team that I kind of want to get a better handle on as we move forward here. So I will end up passing this game. But yeah, just watch this kid. Unreal.
Alber, anything to add here to this one?
I mean, the Lightning have actually been pretty bad recently. But the Sharks are just like the Sharks. If the Sharks were going through one of those stretches that they were playing better, this would be a very kind of intriguing spot to get behind them. The Sharks have just been god awful. So as bad as the Lightning have been lately, the Sharks have been just 10 times worse. I have no interest in getting on either side of this.
Okay, there you go. Those are best bets for today. The official plays that we have locked in here. We have Red Wings moneyline plus 107. We've got Bruins moneyline minus 104. Hurricanes moneyline plus 108. Flames moneyline plus 100. And the Canucks moneyline plus 105. This is maybe the first day in a while that we've gone through an entire card like this size and not had a total. And it's because the two of you went head to head on both totals that we could have possibly given out. So,
and we don't have Moretto betting 7 totals a day.
every under on the board. Yeah,
Moretto
those are the money lines.
Salamis every day.
I guess let's do some World Juniors here quickly before we get out. I'm gonna just pull up here on FanDuel what we've got for price here on Canada Czech tonight, because that was the one that was asked about a couple of times. Canada plus Canada, excuse me, minus 355. The Czech plus 270. We got a plus 1.5 even money on Czech. Canada minus 1.5, minus 122. 5.5 total, minus 138 over on FanDuel and plus 112 under right now. So, Monty, I don't know if you've been following or checking along with betting lines or anything like that. Do you have any thoughts ahead of tonight's Canada-Czech game?
Yeah, so I was just in general, I was looking at the rules for like the tournament, and they reseed after the quarterfinals. So that would mean that if things go according to the way that they should, then US would play Canada in the semis, right? So I played Sweden to win the championship. I got them at plus 400.
Yeah.
I think they're still plus 350 right now if you look around. But so I did play Sweden to win. In terms of this game, I think that that the Czechs are live. I know it was it opened plus 2.5 and it's been bet down since. Yeah, I think that plus 1.5 I'd be okay with. And on the other side, I think that that US might struggle in that game against the Swiss as well. So yeah, I'm more interested in Sweden right now, though. I think that if we can get a Canada US semifinals, them beating each other up, I think that opens the door up for Sweden quite a bit.
I think that that's like good enough for us to kind of add as our special bet for today in terms of Sweden outright plus 390 on FanDuel right now there as well. There are other games here today. I'm just kind of want to point that out to the chat. I'm not skipping over the other games that were there. The Czech Canada game has been asked about 4 times in the chat, so I wanted to make sure at bare minimum we touched on that one. In terms of other games out there or thoughts in Canada Czech, Alber, do you have anything else to add for World Juniors?
Nah, I'm the wrong person to ask. I think I've watched less than 5 World Juniors games in the last 5 years. I have nothing to input here.
That's disgusting behavior.
Yeah,
I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. Every time a game comes up that I'm like, oh yeah, I should watch this, something else comes up, or I just kind of forget about it. I'm not hating on the tourney. It's great. I just never been able to get involved in it really.
That's so disappointing. It's amazing. It's like the best tournament ever. I cannot believe that. Okay, there you go. Those are the bets for today. If you did enjoy the show here, let's go Notre Dame. Correct. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, and take So Money's word on the college football game here for today. And some futures bets for the World Juniors, and hopefully those help add to the NHL bets for today. But make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel, turn on notifications so you get notified. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time for more picks and previews. Until then, enjoy the games tonight. Enjoy all the World Juniors games on during the day here today, and good luck with your bets.